Amen. And we heard like Mark Coudray talk about that. And I was actually at a shop yesterday, and the guys at Rowboat gave all of our students a tour because they just do cooler stuff than us. And I mean, their runs are massive, and they were showing us sim process, 8-color sim process, and 1,000, 2,000 piece runs. And we were out to dinner after, and they asked me, like, Steven, can we do that? And I'm like, trying to get it through their heads that, you know, an 8-color sim process on their 75 fraternity shirts just doesn't pay the bills unless you charge $35 a shirt. And I think we want to do all the coolest things in our industry, but at scale, you can't. You just, I mean, you physically can't. Tom, you've bought out some shops, right? Like, I think you've had a bunch of acquisitions. We've been kind of watching in our industry shops shuttering lately, some big shops closing, small shops closing. Talk to us about that, because you kind of like, as you grew in vision, you ate up other shops along the way. Talk to us about the acquisition process, because I think that's super interesting.
Okay, so we've acquired 6 other shops in the last 7 years, and they've ranged in size from doing $400,000 in revenue to $2 million in revenue. And it's a lot of different moving parts, a lot of different scenarios. People always ask, like, what are things you've learned? I've learned a lot of the good, the bad, and the ugly with acquisitions. I think the biggest thing I can share on those is you want 2 definite things to align. One, the equipment. If there's equipment involved, if you have all M&R presses and the shop you're acquiring has anything but M&R, then like that just doesn't align and you're going to up with a mess. Same goes on the embroidery machines. If they have Barrett or Tajima, you need those things to align, or like you're just going to end up selling that equipment at whatever the used price is and getting that out of the way. So that's just like a lot of extra things. So you want the equipment to align in with what you're currently doing. The other thing is you want the customer base to align with what you're currently doing, unless you're trying to like get into a whole new market. So the ones we've found that have worked out really well are the other owners that have the same values and beliefs that we do, because a lot of times the client base is attracted to the owner, and the way that they do business. If that aligns with the way that you do business, then it's easier to keep those customers on board longer and get that transition.
So did they become your employees, or in those situations do they walk away from the business? Like, how did that play out?
So one of them, we kept the facility open, and there was about 25 employees, and we kept it open for 3 years until we moved into our bigger facility. Then we combined both under one roof. They were about 4.5 hours apart, so none of the employees stayed on after that. We helped them find new positions and things in other shops around the area. Other ones, a lot of them were smaller, where it was a person retiring, or they were just getting tired and getting out of the business, where it was like a 1 to 3 person shop. So it was basically they were just closing down and getting out of the business.
Wow.
How do you value those businesses? Is it like EBITDA times 1.5, or how does that work?
They're all very different. So you put a little bit on equipment inventory, and then really look at the top 50 clients and what like their average order amount is, what their annual spend is, and value it really on those, because you're going to lose, especially unless they're located in the exact same town, because some of them we've acquired have been in other states, and unless it's like in your same town, like you're going to lose some of those smaller accounts, like Joe's Lawn Care and whatever Lions Club and things like that, because like they just want to be local and true to whoever the guy is down the street on the corner. So they might not go or stay with a new company that's across the state or a couple states away.
Is 50% a safe number to say you're going to lose off the business revenue wise from this transition?
Yes. Yeah, for
is that
sure.
Under or over? Or
yeah,
right about right?
Because if you look, and that's why we only look at the top, the top 20 to 30% or the top 20 to 50 customers, because that's where like the meat is of most of the revenue anyway. So if you can keep the majority of the revenue from those top clients, depending on the size of the company, it might be the top 50, it might be the top 100. Like that's what you're acquiring. Those are what I call relationship clients that are, it might be a bank or an insurance company or a franchise or something that's got multiple locations, a lumber yard, something like that, where those clients have been with that company for 10 or 15 years, and they're going to continue they value that relationship, versus a transactional client. And a transactional client is a bachelorette party, a one-time event, grandma coming in and getting whatever, those types of things. So you're going to lose the transactional clients that are just like maybe once a year, once every 3 years, once every 5 years. But you want to keep the ones that are relationship based, where they're ordering, on a monthly or quarterly basis.